Warm welcome to all of you. So today is the last day of the workshop, which is going on since Monday, and today we will be doing the rest of the CSS grid. I hope yesterday was a fantastic session, and today also we will be doing a grid out of that. So let's wait for some seconds, waiting for some to join. Then we will start. Today we will be completing the CSS grid, and the complete CSS will be completing today. So please fill the attendance form. In case any queries, do comment or do connect personally. Please fill the attendance form to get the participation certificate. Hello all, welcome. Welcome all of you. Today will be the last topics of CSS grids only, which we will be completing. So let's start now. As you all know, today is the second day of the CSS grid, and I have already opened a blank style.css and index.html. Let's start now. Today we will be what are the topics to be covered? Let me check it out. Okay, fine. So today we will be starting with CSS grid. The topic what we will be covering is autofill and autofit. Autofill, autofit. Autofill. What is autofill? Autofill is used with repeat function and used to fit as many items in a row before move to next row. So we'll explain you with an example that how we are using autofill property, and also the items in autofill organize or reorganize themselves. We'll show you. Let me write down the code first, and then we'll go live. One minute. So there is a container, the parent, and inside the container there are 12 items. As you all can see, 12 items are there. So we are already live with Firefox Developer Edition. As you all can see, there are 10 items. So we will be doing a basic styling what we did yesterday. Hope you all remember the background and the color of the items. Okay, fine. So I hope you all can recall with the background and the items color yellow. So what is autofill property? As I told you, the items in the autofill item fill CSS grid property reorganize themselves. As soon as we use the command, I will show you how. see, let's open inspect. Okay, so what is autofill? Autofill, see, without giving anything, what we have given we have target parent dot container, display is grid gap is 20 px, a border of black is created with 10 px border, solid and black color. Grid template column is repeat property, as I told you yesterday, repeat autofill 150 px. So the item has a size of 150 px and it arrange or it they organize themselves as per the grids given. So 150 px autofill, see, they have aligned themselves, nothing has to be done. It's a simple property and used many times in this. One minute. See the response. The tablet view, the desktop view, see. It's a responsive system and it is aligning accordingly as per the screen size. See. So hope it is clear now. Moving to the next part. Grid are very responsive. CSS grids are very responsive. So moving on to the next part, that is autofill. What is autofill? Autofill is very similar to autofit. There is nothing change in this autofill and autofit. But need to understand this as understand with an example, and it usually react where the grid end. Where the grid ends, the item ends. We'll tell you with an example that what is auto fit. As the name suggests, it fills automatically with the end of the grid. Let me tell you. So we will do one thing. We will only use 4 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will inactive them. So here, as you all can see, we have currently only 4 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the grid is here till here. Okay. So what is happening here? Now see, the grid ends at the end of item 4. That's what I am going to tell. So don't go with the technical terms. Try to sync the definition with the live examples. This is auto fit. Previously was autofill. So hope you all can understand now. Now moving on to the next part. So there is another property where we will be targeting an item here. And see the response. What are we doing? Grid column end -1. Where is -1? Let me show you. this is -1. So the grids have moved to the end of item, the end of column. The column name is -1. See the response. So what is next? Dot container display grid. You fine. Okay. So here good. It is working fine. So if we change it to -2, see. Okay, fine. So moving on to the next part, which is grid column and -1. Okay. So now we will be going to the next topic, which is min-max. What is min-max? Min-max is a property, and min-max is also always used with autofill. Let me show you how we are using min-max with autofill. And min-max with autofill is a very powerful concept which makes your site very responsive without using much of media queries. I hope you all know media queries. Media queries are basically the commands which are used for the page to respond properly on mobile and tablet. So what we will be doing, we will be changing something in div. So this is the basic structure for the this min-max. There is this min-max container is the parent container, and rest item 5, item 6, item 7, and item 8 are the childs. So moving on to the styling part, as you all can see, we'll add grid now, targeting min-max, targeting the container as min-max. And see what has happened. Display grid gap 20 px, the gap between the grid, this gap. Okay, border, as you all can see, border, grid template column, repeat autofill 100 px. 100 px is the size and has to be repeated. So what is happening here? The goodbye, which the content in the item number 2, goodbye is large as compared to the size what we have given 100 px. So it is coming out of that box. So here in we and also if you all can see, it is not looking properly and not looking good. So what to do in order to adjust this as with reference to the content? So here we will be using the property known as min-max. Min-max, 1 minute. Now see what min-max did. We are given min-max 150px or 1fr. Whatever is applicable with reference to the size of the content, they took that. Okay. This is a property based on the size of the content. It adjusts accordingly. As grid is responsive, I told you earlier also, most of the things they do themselves. Let me show you. Let me adjust the screen size. See the mobile view, tablet view, and desktop view. I hope things are very clear now, and we are going also very smooth and in a very layman language. So moving on to the next part. Moving on to the next part, what to cover now? Autofill, min-max. We will be covering now another thing, that is after min-max, grid column, start grid column, and now grid column. Now we will be doing grid column, row, and grid column and grid row concept to place items. How to place items in grid row and grid column, this we will be covering now. So I request you all to please be attentive, as this is a very tricky thing in order to adjust the items accordingly in column and row. So let me go through. So here what we will be doing, let me design the basic skeleton of HTML now. Things will keep changing for every function, because in order to show how it works, the code needs to be changed. So as the name suggests, there are two sidebars, a content and a footer. We have to design in such a way that sidebar comes in the side, contents come in the center, and footer comes in the foot, that is in the bottom of the page. So there are two sidebars, as you all can see, and for this, what we will be doing, we will be doing grid template column and grid template row. So we will be adding 3 rows and 3 columns, targeting the parent container. See. See, now what we did, see what we did, 3 column, 1 2 3, 3 rows, 1 2 3, size 1fr 10fr 1fr 1fr 10fr 1fr, and rows is 150px 150px 100px 150px 150px 100px. Rows are horizontal, columns are vertical. So what is happening here, we want 2 sidebars, the content has to be in the center and a footer. So for this, what we have to do, we have to, there is a special property called as grid template areas. We'll add now. See. So the marking has been done. What is footer? Footer, footer, footer. This is a sidebar. This is the content. Content comes in the center, and again this is the sidebar. So what we have done, we had given the labeling. What is what? So moving on to next, we will be aligning the content to the center and aligning the content in the sidebar. What is desired or what is required now? Also changing okay, fine. One minute. What is happening? We will be now styling so what we did, this is the footer, sidebar 2, sidebar 1 and the main content. So what we did, there is a class, as you all can see, depend on the requirement, we have given a class of 4 items. Okay, so what we did, grid area footer, grid area sidebar 1, we use the property as grid area to the content what we have to align like this. So as grid is responsive, they have adjust accordingly. 1 minute. See the response. That's why grid is used so much, and it's an alternate of bootstrap. People love grid, as you can do anything as what you want, what is your requirement. In case anyone has any doubt, please let me know.
The Rise channel. My name's Ash. If you're going to make a game that players are going to want to flock to, it not only needs to be.
Okay, fine. Moving on to the next part. I hope it is clear. You will be giving attendance sheet using Google form. Please fill it. So let's add some media queries also. Now see the response. Always prefer to use Firefox while using grid. So we will be now moving on to one amazing responsive property as legendary masonry layout. Legendary masonry layout. For this, in order to explain me, I have to add 70 items. Just give me a couple of seconds in order to add now. Every function I'm using different type of diffs and parent. So basic styling was same. See, all the 70 items are there row wise. So let's add grid and add grid gap. So the gaps are there of 20 px, and by default grid is there, is a row type element. So let's add some column, grid template column, repeat 10. So as you all can see, 10 column have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay, of 1 FR. It automatically adjusts as per the size in the web page. So what is legendary masonry? I will tell you. Now let's add some irregularities in order to explain what is this function. See what we did. We have changed the background color for the nth item and have introduced span of 6 for the nth item. Span of 6. So what did 6? The space used by 6 cells has been allotted to 1. Okay, we have used span of 2, span of 6, span of 2 based on the requirement. Okay, so now let's understand the magic. What is this? So here grid auto flow see everything adjusted now, but the serial number has changed. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Based on the space available, the content is adjusted in the layout. So in case where you want the serial not to be maintained, you can use this property. In case if serial has to be maintained, please don't use it. This is the main concept of this. It's a very good property. People love it. But where you don't want to use serial, you can use it. It works very properly. It adjusted based on the size available, based on the space available. As grid works two-dimensionally, in the row and column both, they can adjust themselves. C16, C54, C66, C36, C8, they have adjusted accordingly. They have reorganized themselves as per the space available. So moving on to the next part. CSS Grid Alignment and Centering. CSS Grid Alignment and Centering. Here we have justify item, align item, justify content, align content, justify self, align self. What is the justify item and align item? Like in Flexbox, we have justify item center, align item center. Here, it's here in grid, justify applies on rows and align applies on columns. So we'll show you. Let's have some class. Let's have some class in order to understand this. We need to have some another classes. See, to understand this, what is justify item, align item? Justify is a row, justify applies on row axis, align apply on column axis. Justify item on row axis, align on column axis. So how to write it? So what we did, display grid gap of 20 px as what we are doing always. So what has happened? And let's add some GTC grid template column using the repeat property of 10 column of 1 FR. See, 10 columns of 1 FR. So what is it? Justify item. There, justify items can be used in 4 types. You can justify an item as justify item applies only to row level. It's a it's a row level element. So you can use it in the start of a row, at the end of the row, the center, or as a scratch. So in order to explain this, let's use inspect. Yes, fine. So for this, let's target an item, or we'll do one thing. Let's target all the items. And give justify item end. Okay, I use shortcuts JIE. It's justify item end, and as you all can see, there every item has a class with the class name ITM. 2 classes are there, ITM and ITM6. So background is white for the item. As you all can see, every item has a background white, and every item has aligned to end of the cell. See, or I will zoom it. See, in the cell, every item has moved to the end. So let's move to the another property of justify item, that is center. See, all are in the center, and see the response automatically organizing themselves as per the size available. See, that is why grid is more popular and are replacing bootstrap. So let's move to the another item, another property of justify item, that is stretch. See, they have stretched themselves. And the last property, and or part. And so this is moving fine now. Now the second property which works on column level, align items. See, start. Items move to the start. Align item, align item, and so why it is not happening? There is a reason. Git template row has to be added here. Now see. See, it has moved. So I'm using the actual size because I face writing in the code. I face problem in writing code now. So start, start, end, enter, fetch. So these are align item, center, align item, fetch, align item, end, and align item, start. And in case you justify item center, line item center, things will come in the center. See, all of the item inside the cell will appear in the center now. When we give align item center, justify item center, things will come in the center. You can use align item and justify item both at a time. Now moving to justify content. What is justify content? Justify, there are 7 values of justify content: start and center, stretch, space around and space between, space evenly. So I am telling start and center, stretch, space around, space between, space evenly. 3 more properties has been added in justify content. Justify content. So what we are doing, justify item stretch, justify content. Let's add justify content start. Justify content start. Save it. So we'll add some change here. We'll do some changes in the container part. So for this, let's decrease some items. Okay, fine. So we'll do one thing. We'll control. We'll do from 20. So now it's working fine. It looks fine now. So what is justify content start? The end. See. See the responsiveness. Center. Stretch. Space around. Space around. Space between. Space evenly. See space. This is the main function. Responsiveness, it is a very responsive system, but you need to understand where to use it. So now moving to align content, similar to justify content, align content also have 7 values. The same start and stretch, center, space evenly, space around, space between. So for this, let's add some changes in the code in order to make it responsive. See, so space between is there, space evenly. You please focus on the boxes here. Don't see the code. Focus on the box and listen to me. See the movement. Space between. See. Center. Start. Sorry. And touch. So we have completed align content, justify content, align item, justify item. Now we will going to align self and justify self. One minute. Also, we can use align content and justify content also. Align content, enter, and justify content, center. See, so all the four properties can be used along, or all the two properties can be used along: justify item, align item, or justify content, align content, or justify item, justify content, align content. All can be used together based on the structure, based on the designing, what you are looking for or what you are doing. So stretch, no, stretch, save it. So going on to the next part, what is justify self and align self? What is justify self? Justify self is very similar to justify content, but it overrides the value of justify content as it is meant for a single item. So there are four values: justify self start, justify self end, justify self center, and justify self stretch, like what others have. So let's do some basic changes in the container in order to understand what we are looking for. So here we will be targeting item 8. What we target? See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. What we did, we have changed the background color to yellow and justify self as start. So as you all can see, all are in the scratch position, but item number 8 with yellow color is in the start position. Or let's do it end. So move to end. Stretch, stretch. Please focus on the page, not on the or not onto the code. Code is very simple. Only four values: start and stretch, and start and stretch and center. Nothing more in this. Justify self is this only. You can align irrespective of justify content and align content. You can align an item as per your wish. Similar align self, four values: start, end, center, and stretch. Let's target item number 14 to understand align self. See item number 14 with pink color. This is item number 14. So align self, start, align self, center, save it. What happened? Oh, what is happening? See, center, align self. We are doing align self and and stretch, stretch. Four properties of align self similar to justify self, start, and stretch and center. So we are left with the last topic, where we will be doing an album layout page. In order to understand the responsiveness, just wait for a second. Let me take out the code for to understand this. It's basically album layout page. So let's close the inspect. As you all can see, the album layout page is there. Fine. And we need to do a basic styling, targeting the container as album. So let's do it. Simply giving only 4 command: display grid, grid template column, grid. In grid, we have targeted column. Repeat, autofit, min-max. Min-max means whatever is whatever adjusted to the size of the content. They took grid gap 5px. The gap between the grid is 5px. So as you all can see, the responsiveness. See, this is the power of grid. Adjusted accordingly, reorganize themselves. So now what is required now? We will do some coloring and give some padding. Padding means, what is padding? Space around the content. See, space around the content. We have taken a background color in the RGB format. Box shadow, a shadow padding 20px, and see the responsiveness. See the functioning in a mobile view, tablet view, and desktop view. It's working fine and adjusting themselves as per the screen size. Giving some additional properties, targeting the parent. Adding some width, which will help to look better. I hope you all can understand the basic what I am doing. There is nothing new what I didn't told you. See the mobile view, how perfect it is. So I hope the things are cleared now and it is responsive in both mobile, tablet and desktop view. So I hope you all have enjoyed and learned a lot with this CSS workshop of 5 days. So all the best. In case any queries, please get back to us and we will be coming back And tomorrow we will have a 2-hour session from 3 p.m. You all are requested to please join and ask your friends and colleagues to join.